This is for year 11 methods. We're going to do question 9 and 10 from the exercise 2G, which is more application questions, but these are specific types of application questions. So let's have a read of the question and have a think about it. We'll do question 9 first. So a printing firm charges $35 for 600 sheets and $47 for 800 sheets. Find a formula, assuming the relationship is linear, for the charge in terms of number of sheets printed n. Now, whenever it says a variable in terms of another variable, the variable that's in terms of is usually the x, okay, and the variable that you want to put at the start is usually the y, okay. So we've got to interpret. So if $35 equals 600 sheets and $47 equals 800 sheets, you can treat those as like data points, okay. When we already know the sheets, number of sheets printed is like x. So when x equals 600, y equals 35. When x equals 800, y equals 47. So essentially what you have is like two data points. Okay, so we've got 600, and the order is important, so just don't mess this up. You got 635, and the other one is 847. Now, if I have 2 points, can I find the equation of the line? The answer is yes. Okay, what did we learn in the very start? How do I get to equation of the line from 2 points? All I need to do firstly is get the gradient. So you go 47 minus 35 over 800 minus 600. Let's work it out on the CAS, okay, because this would be most likely a CAS level question, so I'm not going to risk getting my arithmetic wrong. So we go 47 minus 35 divided by 800 minus 600. Okay, so that's 0.06. So we know y equals mx plus c. Now, because this is a worded problem, we can't really use that model completely, because our y and x's aren't y's and x's. It's labeled something else. So we know that c, big C, cost, is equal to m times our n plus, I won't use C, I'll use D, just so that we're not confused with two C's. So we know that my gradient is 0.06 n plus D. Now, how do I solve for D? All I need to do is sub in one of the points. So sub in one of the points. So I'm subbing in, I'll just choose any one, so 635. So the shortcut way is you sub it in directly and just use the calculator to solve it. So when C is 35, N is 600 plus D. So I'm just going to solve for D. So on my CAS, let's do this. 35 equals 0.06, 600 plus, I'm just going to use X for convenience. I'm just going to solve for X. Remember, you got to change it back to whatever your variable is, because that's, I don't know about you, but sometimes I make the mistakes as well. So X is minus 1, or D is minus 1. Okay, so this was the CAS step. So therefore, your final equation would be C equals 0.06 n minus 1, and that's the equation relating the cost to the amount of sheets you print. Okay, so we've done part A. It says how much would they charge if you print 1,000 sheets. So for part B, all you need to do is, your n is now 1,000. What's your cost? So 0.06, 1,000 minus 1. So doing this in my head, you don't need to. 0.06 or 6% of 1,000 would be 60. 60 minus 1 is 59. So it's going to cost you $59. Always include your units. Okay. Now, that is the longer way. There is a shorter way to do this, and I'll show you how to do this on the CAS. I mean, if you're struggling with using the CAS and how in doing this, the shortcut way, then by all means do it this way. But this way, I find there's more opportunity for you to make a mistake. So the shorter way is if you go to menu and you go spreadsheets. So what you're going to do is you're going to go, so for the first column, you're going to put in your X values. So you've got 600 and you've got 800. And then the corresponding Y values here. Okay, so that's 35 and that's 47. Now, really important, so you've got X value, Y value, X value, Y value. You're going to highlight and go calculate. You're going to go regression. So I've highlighted, calculate regression, linear regression. And as you can see, you've got the linear equation y equals ax plus b. It literally tells you what your a value is and what your b value is, and it matches up with what we have here, because my gradient's 0.06, great, and y intercept's -1. So just write that down, but except obviously don't write x and y, write it in the variables that represent your x and y, okay? So in this case, c and n. So this is the shorter way to do it. Just make sure, if you're showing working out, write something like this, okay? So I can actually see what you've actually, what your thinking is. So I know that, hang on, this student knows what they're talking about. They've written, the information as 2 data points, and they've used the solve function. Okay, so this is something easy you can do on the CAS calculator. If you don't know how to do it, then by all means do it the traditional way. So hopefully it helps. Question 10, I'll just talk about it. It's very similar. Okay, so again, you've got 2 data points. You want to write the formula for it. Was the sum already in the register when the counting began? So what that means is, what is it? What was the sum in the register when the counting began? So basically, when you have the equation, you're just wanting the n to be 0 because 0 have been counted. What essentially is the y-intercept? If so, how much? Okay, so then if there is a y-intercept of something other than 0, then you would have something before the counting began. But if not, then it'll be 0. So I'm assuming there'll be something there because otherwise they won't ask what they asked in part C. So I'll let you have a go at question 10 yourself. Let me know if you still need help.